Hey YouTube, it's Michael Gallagher here, the Media Preacher, back for another video. And today we're going to do something a bit different. We are going to try recording an acoustic piano using the Tascam Model 12 recorder stroke interface. So stay with me. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to do something a bit different. You've probably seen previous videos of mine in the past, if you're here today, where I've recorded songs with piano, whether it be me in a solo sort of a piano song or me recording like multi-tracks and then overdubbing them all using a digital piano. I've got two digital pianos, a Yamaha that I bought in about 2003 I think, and a Roland that was bought in about 2009. They're both great instruments and they both work fantastically, especially the sounds I can get out of them by using the MIDI interface into my computer, and then the computer generates like a virtual instrument sound. Can sound very, very, very close to an acoustic piano. But I've always felt that as good as those sounds are, they're just lacking something. And so I've written a few songs that are sort of piano-centric songs, and I wanted to record them with an acoustic piano. The big problem here is I don't own an acoustic piano because in our current setup, I just don't have any room for it. Unfortunately, and I'd probably annoy the neighbours because acoustic piano soundboards are quite loud and we live quite close to people. So that's not an option. So I thought, well, can I find an acoustic piano that I could rent? I live in Leicestershire, so that actually turned out to be a bit of a challenge as well. I found a few acoustic pianos at universities, but they were only available to students of the universities. You couldn't go in and hire them out, unfortunately. So next thing I started to look at was local recording studios. But almost all the local recording studios only had digital pianos, which of course would be no better than I'm already using. I've got a perfectly good digital piano already. Luckily, there is one studio in Leicester called Deadline Studios, run by a guy called Adam Ellis, who does have an acoustic upright piano. It's called a Zender piano. I hadn't heard of them before, but I called him up and I spoke to him and I said, look, I don't need the recording studio because I've got my own recording equipment. But what I would like to do is come into the studio and effectively rent the acoustic piano and record what I'm doing using my Tascam 12 recorder, which is like a portable interface machine. Adam really kindly had no problem with that at all, and he arranged me to come down today, and I'm going to go down there now and we're going to try and play the piano and record using the Tascam Model 12. Now I'm quite excited about this because the Model 12, you might have seen the unboxing video, which I can link above, but the Tascam Model 12 is effectively an audio interface that can control Pro Tools or Cubase or Logic, or whatever program you're using in your computer. It'll, the faders will all work as controllers, the pan pots, the fast forward, the play, the stop. It allows you to use your computer without thinking about the computer too much, which is one of the things I really like about it. But what it also is a standalone multi-track recorder, sort of similar to the old Tascam tape machines. Last year I recorded a video using my old Tascam 4-track tape machine, and that sort of inspired me buying this device. And one of the reasons I wanted to buy this device was because you effectively record onto a hard disk card, and then you can take those recordings that you've done anywhere and import them into your computer and then either mix them on the machine or mix them in Pro Tools or Logic or whatever computer program you're using. So the plan today is to take this device on its own without a computer, with a couple of microphones. I've got an SE ribbon mic I'm planning to use and some little Behringer condenser mics that I really like. I'm going to plug them into the back of this machine and then I'm going to hit play and record and then bring the results home and see what I can capture. It could be that I don't capture very much and I end up having to use Mr. Ellis at Deadline Studios to record the piano, but I'm quite hopeful that I can get some really good sounds out of the Tascam, because every time I've used it so far, it's been a fantastic device. It's not the cheapest piece of kit, but it's a very versatile piece of kit. So the plan is to pack up some microphones, pack up some stands, pack this up, get in the car, and go and find Deadline Studios in Leicester, speak to Adam, and get recording. And at the minute, I've got 3 songs that I would like to record. I'm not going to put any pressure on myself because I don't want the red light syndrome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just say, as I'm going in, I'm only going to test it out, to see what the piano's like, to see what the space is like. And then if I'm comfortable, I'm going to try and get 1 song. If I can get 1 song down in, I don't know, 45 minutes, I'll then try and do the 2nd song, and so on and so forth with the 3rd song. But I need to have really be packing down by about the 1 hour 45 minute, because I know it takes me about 15 minutes to set up and 15 minutes to set down. I know that because I've tried it already here at home, and I've just made sure that everything on the interface and everything with the microphones is working. So wish me luck, let's get to it. My window when you stopped, and we shared bubble gum and laughed the day away. Joking with you dissolves time without a trace, bites my lip and make my butterflies sing. We met last autumn, shed bubble gum this spring. Trust is caused in action. We can steal like thieves. Walk past my window, smile and flee. If you cry, oh you doubt, sing this lullaby to melt. Now you know how it sounds. Now you know how it sounds. Sometimes I'm wrong, but hold on to me tight and weather the storm. Moments of reflection, you build a plan. I think in stages and hope to land. If you cry, oh you doubt, sing this lullaby to melt. Now you know how it sounds. Now you know how it sounds. Well, hey guys, welcome back. We're back in my little studio now. Not as impressive as Adam's at all. I didn't really show you around Adam's studio because I was so pressed for time. I would love to have shown you a little bit inside of his studio rooms, but he was so gracious to let me use his piano in the way he just did, and a huge shout out to him. Thank you for allowing me to do that, because I think my first thoughts are that he's just transformed the recording of the 3 songs that I've just tried to perform. Because, as I say, as good as the digital pianos are, and they are fantastic, and the technology in them is absolutely brilliant, and they're great learning tools, and they're great for, you know, sort of filling out a mix. But if you want the piano as your main instrument in a track, yes, they'll do the job, but they won't do the job as well as having an acoustic piano. And that Zender piano just had so much resonance. You know, I could hear as I was hitting notes that other strings were resonating. And the digital version, even the virtual instruments, don't recreate that. You know, it's our recordings a lot of the time are getting it right at source. You know, performing it well, miking it well, and then sort of getting a good sound in the recorder without any compression, without any EQ. If it sounds good to start with, it's only going to sound better with those things. But if it sounds badly, if it sounds bad to start with, it will never sound that great, no matter how hard you work on it, in my experience. Let me know what you think in the comments, but I think that the sounds that I was able to capture with the Model 12 and with the acoustic piano, just on their own, were absolutely stellar, to be honest. Stellar. It's transformed the way that those songs I'd written on digital pianos sound, and the way I could perform them. I mean, the piano played with me, it reacted back at me in a way that digitals don't. You know, when you dig into it, you can hear the sound coming back at you. When you play very softly, you can hear the sound edging away from you. It really was responsive. It's making me want an acoustic piano so badly, to be honest. At the moment, A, I can't afford one, and B, I haven't got room for one, as I said earlier. But Adam's kindly said that I can go back to the studio anytime and rent the piano effectively to do exactly what I just did. So I think the moral of this video is to anybody that's looking to record piano, especially if it's a very piano-centric song, you're best to try and source and a good acoustic piano that's in tune. And it's been well maintained. Of course, that one had, because it was in a studio. That's why I was looking at, you know, the universities or studios. I didn't just want an acoustic piano that was out of tune or hadn't been well looked after. But if you can source an acoustic piano that's been well maintained and it sounds good, and rent that for a few hours, the level of your recording will just soar. So the next thing now with these recordings is I want to try and get some acoustic drums on them. So I've got some friends I'm going to ask, and I'm going to see if we can record some acoustic drums, and then I'm going to try and maybe do some guitar sounds myself with the Fender amp down here, or possibly get somebody else to do the guitar sounds. You know, I've really done the piano, and that's my part in the song, and writing it, of course. So now I'm quite excited to see what comes next with these songs. I'm not rushing them; they'll get done as they get done. I just want to enjoy recording them, and you know, they're passion projects. So let's see what happens. But I'm so happy with what I've just done. I'm so grateful to the Tascam Model 12, because it makes recording outside of your own studio so much easier. You literally just pack it up with a microphone and a stand, you set everything up nicely, you play, you come away, and then you can import the material that you have recorded into your DAW. Or if you want to go doorless, if you don't want to use a DAW, you can mix really well actually just on the Tascam. I mixed a few videos only using the Tascam. The Behringer reverb pedal video I did like a little jam on that, and that was recorded and mixed entirely just with this unit. It didn't go into the computer at all. I think I did the same thing with the overdrive pedal, but yeah, I definitely did. So I mean, it's a fantastic standalone machine if you don't want to use a computer, but used in conjunction with a computer, it becomes a hell of a powerful tool at your disposal, and I highly recommend them. So until the next time, this is Michael Gallagher, the Media Preacher, signing off.